Have you ever seen Into the Spider-Verse and like the running joke in that movie is, all right, let's do this one more time.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And thank you for making us your first listen. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias alongside my producer, Steve Granado. Steve, what was that? What's the quote from Yogi Berra about deja vu?
Something like that. I think that's the quote. What's the quote about deja vu?
Yeah.
Hey, on today's show, we got stuff. We got a Game 3 preview finale here in Minnesota. We're going to have a conversation about Franchy Cordero. I feel like we need to really talk about what's going on there and what the Yankees might be able to do / can't do / we'll see how you feel. We asked you. And hey, by the way, of course, on every episode here on the YouTube side, you could drop questions for our Friday show, which we highly, highly encourage you to do. So make sure to do that in the comment section. If you're on the audio side, why don't you come on over to YouTube and join a whole bunch of Yankees fans, over 2,000 of them. We're talking every single day. It's a great community over here. So if you're on the audio side, come join us over here on YouTube. Stacey, I threw in me as the cold today to change the mojo. Someone's got to do it.
I changed my glasses. I'm trying.
You got to do something. Let's start this recap, Stacey. Nestor Cortes was looking good until he wasn't.
Yeah, that's a theme with the pitchers lately. I think the only one that doesn't have that problem is Garrett Cole at this point.
Yeah. He doesn't have any problems.
Yeah, not yet.
Well, I wanted to start with this question for you, Stacey. Do you think Aaron Boone left him in too long?
I think so. I know why he did, and I know why he didn't want to take him out. But yeah, I feel like
he was trying to get as much out of him as he could.
Yeah. And I think that just kind of bit them in the butt.
Yeah, it did. The 2-run shot to Byron Buxton.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Leaked.
Just
big swing.
Oof. And they scored first, which is shocking because, they've been able to do anything like that lately. And it still didn't feel right. I've been watching this team for so long that I'm going to sound like a crazy person when I say this, but I do get feelings before games and I kind of know how things are going to go. And I just was like, it doesn't matter.
Today's not the day.
Today's not the day. It's really not.
Ryan pitched well.
Yeah. It wasn't exactly overpowering, but they just can't get anything really going against anyone at this point. And what can you do?
So here's my thought, Stacey. So Nestor goes 5.
Mm-hmm.
5 hits, 4 runs, only 3 earned. There was that error on Volpe 3 games in a row for Anthony. Growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
Walk and 6 Ks. Here's some thoughts. A thought I had throughout the game tonight or last night when you're watching this. And let me know how you feel. The Yankees right now are at a point to where everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
They cannot make a single mistake if they want to win.
Yep.
Because their offense is just not clicking enough. They very well could have won. They won a 2-0 game against the Minnesota Twins a week and a half ago.
Because
they
Garrett
scored 2
Cole
runs.
Pitched out of his mind.
Yes. Yeah. And 6 runs on the board, whatever. But Volpe can't make that error.
No.
Nestor can't make those mistake pitches.
Right.
Like, you are at such a high point right now to where nothing can go wrong if you want to win. Yeah. And that's just not a recipe for success if you want to win.
Yeah. It's really, I won't say this is rock bottom because I feel like things are actually going to get worse because it's not getting easier after they leave Minnesota. They're going to be in Texas for the weekend, and then they're coming straight home to play against the Guardians. It's not an easy schedule for them, and it doesn't feel like it's going to get better yet. It's just I don't even know how to describe watching this team right now. It's not fun. There's nothing
No,
fun about it. And it is true.
no.
They really have to. We joked about it the other night. I said the only way that they can win games now is if the starters come out and pitch complete games. And I even joked about it with Nestor. I'm like, he might have to come out and pitch a complete game in order for this team to do anything. And that didn't happen. So I don't even know. I don't know. It's not often that I'm
Yankees.
speechless, and these men are making me speechless.
It's fair. Yankees offense on Tuesday night, 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Matched Minnesota with 8 hits, so they did put up 8 hits on Tuesday, none of which were for extra bases.
Yeah.
DJ picked up a knock. He's still swinging well. Volpe picked up a pair of hits. Willie Calhoun picked up a pair of hits, including a single off of Johan Duran, who is, God, man, he's filthy.
Yeah.
Jesus, did you watch that 9th inning?
Yeah.
Johan Duran is just out of his mind. He is so good. Third quickest game of the year, 2 hours and 16 minutes.
Yeah.
Um,
At least we're not being
yeah.
tortured now, because these games used to take a lot longer. So
See,
now
that's what the
at least
glass half full
it's
is
quick.
all about.
Yeah, it's painful but quick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is. And again, in case you've been living under a rock, or if you're a new Yankees fan, hello, welcome.
Yeah.
The Yankees lose the series, not only the series but the season series to Minnesota.
For the first time since 2001.
Yep.
Now think about that. That's insane. That's a really long streak to have against a team. And this isn't a team that was bad. This is a team that had, in the 2000s, we're talking, Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, Johan Santana. These weren't bad teams that they were playing against. It just, they had their number for some reason. And it continued all the way through until this season. It's unbelievable to me, but let's just go through some of these stats because it's really amazing how long it's been. So the last time the Yankees lost to the Twins in a season series, May of 2001, George W. Bush was president, which is just crazy to think about because it's so long ago. I said before the show, but the Twin Towers were still standing in May 2001, didn't get into the war in Afghanistan yet, or, well, we already did Desert Storm in 91, but the second war in Iraq. And it's just, when you think about who was still playing in the league at the time, it was Cal Ripken's last year. I went to his last game at Yankee Stadium. Tony Gwynn was still playing. Ricky Henderson was still playing. Jesse Orosco was still playing. It's just, it's unbelievable to think about the time that has passed by since this last happened. And I told everyone it was going to happen eventually. I just didn't think it was going to be so soon.
Yeah. And I was 8 years old.
Yeah, I was 26. I wasn't yet 27, but I was 26.
8 years old. 8. Hey, again, glass half full. Good run. How about that? How do you like that?
Hey, a 20-year streak, 20-season streak is nothing to sneeze about. That's just amazing because 2020 they didn't play, right? Because they only played East teams. So
yeah.
Yeah,
Good run.
Yeah.
Before we kind of step aside for a second, Stacey, I did want to just kind of get your overall thoughts here. Just what are your thoughts on the Yankees? Just if you're coming in cold and you're going, what did I click? Your overall thoughts right now on the state of the major league franchise.
They're a mess.
Okay.
It's the offense is a mess, really. I mean, Nestor didn't look great, but the offense needs to score more than 1 or 2 runs a game. We went through the numbers on the previous show. They are ranked really low in offense, and it is unbelievable to see those numbers. When they're staring at you on the page, you just think, wow, how is this even possible? Aaron Judge needs to step it up a bit there. I don't think he's feeling the pressure of the contract, but I think he needs to kind of snap
cold.
Out of this.
Everyone's just cold at the same time.
Yeah, and that you can't have that happen. That's like a recipe for disaster. And that's basically what happened last year too. Like they started off really hot and then they all went cold at the same exact time. So yeah, this is just rough. It's a rough patch. And it just feels bad because Tampa's doing so well. Other teams ahead of them are also doing well. This is a tough division. This isn't like a 1978 where it was really only Boston and the Yankees. And even though they were 14 games behind, they were able to make up that deficit because there was no other teams battling for this. This division could very well go down to the wire between 3 or 4 teams at this point with the way they're playing. So this is
right now, the Yankees might not be one of those 3.
Right. It's crazy to even think about that.
Yeah. Again, glass half full. Tampa lost 5-0 to the Houston Astros.
Are they allowed to lose? I didn't realize they were allowed to lose.
I didn't know it was allowed in Major League Baseball. They are now 20-4. Again, 20 wins, 4 losses. Wild. The finale of the series against Minnesota. Man, I'm sure they're very excited to get out of Minnesota. On SiriusXM, it's a 110 game. Don't forget, 110 on SiriusXM. You can download the SiriusXM app, get a free trial, or get a plan. Of course, you can listen to all the action. Quick breather, but when we come back, we have a conversation about Franchy Cordero. There's some numbers here that are staggering, and I feel like the Yankees are in a bit of a predicament. So, Stacey, you're going to try and iron this out. What do the Yankees do in this situation, and what you guys think? We asked you on our YouTube channel, so stick around for the results.
So Rare is a revolutionary fantasy baseball game and marketplace transforming fans into owners with officially licensed digital cards featuring players from across all 30 Major League Baseball teams. Unlike other fantasy baseball platforms, So Rare managers truly own their fantasy experience, collecting, buying, selling, and competing with player cards against global opponents to win epic rewards. Win or lose, you still own your cards and there's no cost to play. MLB game weeks happen twice weekly. They span 3 to 4 days, and at the end of each week, So Rare managers who rank at or near the top of their leaderboards will win a variety of rewards. That could include cards, game tickets, merchandise, VIP experiences, and meeting Major League Baseball players. The prizes may vary depending on the competition, so head to sorare.com/lockedon. That's spelled SORARE.com to draft your team of free player cards, set your lineup, and start competing today to win epic rewards. Again, that's sorare.com/lockedon to start playing today. And today's episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. Grand slams, no-hitters, and double plays are back, and there's no better place to get in on the MLB action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. That's because right now, new customers can step up to the plate with a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Just go to FanDuel.com/lockedon, sign up, place your first bet, and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win. So don't miss your chance to get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Just go to FanDuel.com/lockedon to sign up. FanDuel, official partner of Major League Baseball.
Back on Locked On Yankees, time to chat about Franchy Cordero. Things aren't going great, and we need to figure out what the Yankees can/might do. Hey, thanks for making Locked On Yankees your first listen every single day. To the everydayers out there, Thursday, we're going to have another discussion kind of similar to this, but we need to talk about the Tampa Bay Rays. We kind of dabbled a little bit there at the top, but we need to really talk about Tampa and try and figure out what in the world to do. So that's what we're going to do here now, by the way. Hit subscribe to be a part of that conversation. Franchy Cordero, Stacey, here's just some numbers for you. First 9 games, 8 for 32, which is good, not like incredible, but I think it was the timeliness of those hits. Picked up a double, 4 homers, so 5 of his first 8 hits. And at this point, spoiler alert, only for extra bases. Drove in 11. He struck out 9 times since then, including last night's loss. 7 games. He is 0 for his last 18. He has struck out 9 times. He hasn't even walked, and he has no RBIs, so no productive outs.
Yeah,
at least in that regard.
Right.
Your initial reaction to those numbers?
Not surprising. I think the more surprising numbers were the 4 home runs right away, because when that was happening, we all thought, what is happening here? Some people were toying with the idea, hey, maybe this is another Matt Carpenter thing. And where, the Yankees, pick someone up off the scrap heap and they come in and do something amazing. And, it feels like he has been, pulled into the vortex of suck that has engulfed the Yankees offense.
That is poetry in motion. We asked Locked On Yankees listeners how they're feeling about this. This is what we asked you yesterday. After a scorching start, Franchy Cordero's bat has slowed way down. If you're the Yankees front office, how much time do you wait for him to turn it back around? Your answer choices were don't. It's time to move on. 1 to 2 weeks, a month, or infinite, however long it takes. Stacey, some of these numbers are a little telling. 41% of our respondents said, don't wait, move on.
Right.
Cutthroat, pretty cutthroat.
Yeah.
1 to 2 weeks was 32%, and this is at the time of this recording. It's obviously going to keep going up. The poll is still open. So if you want to go vote on that, by the way, or drop a comment on there, it's obviously in our community tab. A month was 17%, and then 10% of you are saying, I'm ready to ride this wave. I believe in Franchy Cordero, essentially. Stacey, if you had to vote here, what would it be?
I would say, see, it's not like he's playing every day. I would pick 1 to 2 weeks, because what are they going to do? They need bodies out there at this point. I mean, I know it's like a black hole, but
yeah, I think I'm in the 1 to 2 weeks camp as well.
Yeah,
I was surprised at how many fans were saying it's over.
Well, I'm not, just because I know my fellow Yankee fans, and they're just like,
I know it's cutthroat. I know, but I mean, I think it's the amount. I think it's the 41%. I didn't expect it to be that high. I thought it would have been 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just give them another week, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, here's the thing. What can they do, right? At this point, if you're in that, it's time to move on.
Right.
I just kind of wanted to give a reality check on that. So we're starting to see some major league clubs pretty aggressive prospect-wise.
Mhm.
The Yankees weren't that over the last few years. They are slightly that now with the Volpe, with the Peraza. So they have moved some guys and are moving them along. But they haven't been aggressive since the start of the season, really.
Right.
The Yankees have yet to make a position player swap that wasn't either injury related or sending Flo down for Colton Brewer, which is obviously a pitcher for a position player. So that leads me to believe that the Yankees are in the month to however long it takes.
Certainly
they just
feels
don't seem
that way.
willing to do it.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Guys that I kind of earmarked as potential to be the dude to be called up if they say adios. Jake Bauers hit another home run last night, by the way. Don't hate me. Stephon Florial. There's a lot going on there. I know. We'll get to it in a second. Cole Calhoun. Or if they're going to be aggressive, and this would be pretty aggressive, Andres Chaparro has been swinging well too. He has very limited time at AAA.
Right.
And the one that is just, I think, over the moon, and I'm only saying this because I know you're thinking it at home.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Dominguez, who has just not been playing well in AA.
No.
Flat out. He's getting on base. He's running. He did homer last night.
I was just going to say, he did hit a home run last night. Yeah.
He's got 2 homers in the last 4 games or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's very clearly still adjusting to AA baseball. I don't think, given the track record right now, they are not calling Jason Dominguez.
No.
I don't know. Do you think they just wait till Bader?
I think so. Yeah. I think that's
the wave.
It doesn't, I mean, God, it's April 26th at the time that this goes up. It's very close to May. It's going to be May, as Justin Timberlake would say. And it's okay for the fans to say it's still early, but I feel like the Yankees have to get out of that mentality themselves. And I feel like they're a little bit too stuck in that. Well, it's still early. We still have a lot of time. We still can do this. We still can do that. And I feel like if they keep doing that, they're just going to make themselves fall into a deeper hole and not be able to climb out of it. And that's what worries me. I don't want them to get complacent and be like, oh, things will be all right when guys come back. You can't wait for that.
You have to be aggressive.
You have to be aggressive with, as we said in the last segment, with the way the rest of the division is playing. It's the best division in baseball by far, and they need to step it up.
Yeah,
figure it out.
I mean, if I had to pick one, it's probably Bowers.
Yeah.
He's got massive pop potential. He hits some monster home runs. He's a little bit older. He gives you a little bit of youth, but not like, 19.
Right.
He's a guy that's going to, there's an option situation that's better than Florial. Cole Calhoun, you got to let him get settled first. I don't think that's the answer. I don't think Cole Calhoun, no offense. I love Cole Calhoun. Also, again, Angels fan, love Cole Calhoun with all my heart and soul. Don't think he's the answer to all the problems, but I think Jake Bowers can be a guy that potentially gives a spark. If that's what you're looking for, I think just getting Jake Bowers some DH ABs could help things out. Just one
That's
last
what
note
they
on
need,
Bader.
though. They need a spark.
They just
badly.
need a bat. They just need a bat to get it going.
Yeah.
Someone. Yeah. That isn't just DJ. Bader, by the way, anticipated to be back May 5th, so that puts us in the 1 to 2 week camp.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, May 5th isn't that far away, but looking at it, it's kind of far away. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well,
like it's
when because you play every one of those days.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but they're playing straight through, so it's a long wait for him, even though the light is at the end of the tunnel. And again, it's going to take him also. Like, you can't expect the Harrison Bader that was playing in the playoffs the way he was playing in the playoffs. That's not going to be the Harrison Bader that comes back. So let's everyone temper your expectations. But as I keep saying, I feel like the combination of him and Volpe with their speed, and if they can get on base, that might be some sort of catalyst to get this team going. But I feel like they can't really wait that long.
I think it might be, if Franchy keeps at this pace, that's the move.
Mm-hmm.
Adios, and welcome Bader back. We'll see. We're about a week and a half away from that decision potentially being made. If it is that long, we'll see if the Yankees move on quicker than that. Let us know how you feel about this in the comment section. Or, of course, you can go vote on that poll on our community tab. We're going to take one last breather. Of course, again, Game 3, the finale today. Don't forget, today, day game, 1:10 Eastern on the SiriusXM app. Download it now in your respective app store and start a trial. You'll love it. I guarantee you. We got a preview of that game when we come back.
Ultimate Baseball GM is the coolest game I've played in a long time. I always thought I could be a great Major League Baseball GM, but it turns out it's not all that easy. And if you had the same thought and fantasized about being Brian Cashman and, running your own franchise, download Ultimate Baseball GM immediately. You get to manage every strategic aspect of a franchise, playing through the seasons, leading your franchise and its fans to glory as you build a historic dynasty. You're responsible for hiring the coaches and staff, managing the money, scouting and drafting players, managing through difficult personalities and injuries, navigating your franchise through free agency and all the ups and downs of a season. All this in a challenging and realistic game world. Ultimate Baseball GM is completely free and playable offline. Play on the go as you want and when you want to. Locked On Yankees listeners get a 100% free boost to their franchise when using the promo code Locked On in the game store. So make sure to check it out. You can look it up in both app stores, Google and Apple. Ultimate Baseball GM. Start your dynasty today. So it's the final game of the series. Yankees are looking to not get swept by the Minnesota Twins, which is a really weird thing to say. Because again, stuff like this hasn't happened in years. And it is Domingo Germán against Kenta Maeda. 110 start. Germán, 17 strikeouts over his last 12 and 1/3 innings. A bunch of those strikeouts were against the Twins the last time he faced them. And it was
it was a sticky situation. Remember, when we started the series, our Monday show, right? Monday? What's today? Tuesday? The Monday show. Hot, cold, heating up. Domingo Germán was our heating up.
Yeah, and we need him to continue to heat up because he might be the Yankees' only hope to not get swept. Because again, if the offense isn't getting anything going, they have to rely on the pitching to do it. And is he the one to be the stopper? Because we thought Nestor could be the stopper, and that didn't happen. So, hey, maybe. You know what? This could be one of those reverse lock games where you think one thing's going to happen and it doesn't. Yeah. We'll see how that goes for them. But again, it's very strange to think of the Yankees needing to stop a sweep at the hands of the Minnesota Twins. It just doesn't seem right now.
The world is a wacky place there, Stace.
It really is.
Germán Again, the strikeouts are starting to pile up, which is good. He's generating more swings and misses. His stuff has more bite to it recently. We'll see. Maybe the Minnesota Sun will, that infamous Minnesota Sun will help out a little bit. Maybe a little bit of warmth will help the Yankees heat up. They desperately need a happy flight to Texas. They desperately need it.
Yeah. Do you think there will be any carryover from the last start? Like, do you think Minnesota's going to make it a point to, I don't know. I think
they're probably going to swing early.
Yeah. But do you think they're going to be like,
Nah, they don't care. They've won the series. They don't care.
Well,
What do they care for? But I do think they'll be swinging early, so watch out for that here. Just a gut feeling. Just can't let him get to his secondary stuff right now if it's going to be working the way it's been working the last 2 outings. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see if they swing early, and we'll see if that ends up paying off for them. That game again today, 1:10 Eastern. So you probably just turn that on right now if you're listening to this day of. You can catch the game on the SiriusXM app, SiriusXM. Again, you could download it anywhere. Set up a trial. You get like 3 months for free. Pretty much you can get it like your local microwave. But again, tomorrow coming up on Locked On Yankees, we have a conversation about the Tampa Bay Rays. You're not going to want to miss that. Hit the subscribe button wherever you are. And if you're on the audio side, come join over 2,000 Yankee fans over here on YouTube. It is in the episode description. That's going to do it for today's episodes. I'm Steve Granado.
And I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. We'll see you tomorrow.